everyone, Cher here with you. Welcome to my channel. So this morning I just want to share a quick recipe with you guys. I'm about to put something into my crock pot and I just thought, what the heck, I'll quickly video this. This is a recipe that I have been using many times. I got this out of the Company's Coming slow cooker recipe book. I actually inherited a whole bunch of these Company Coming recipe books from my mom when she passed away. I love these recipe books. They are amazing, and I've seen these at Value Village, and sometimes you can pick them up at garage sales for real cheap as well. So today I'm going to be making the split pea soup. Now I realize I'm going to just hold this up here so you guys can take a quick screenshot of the recipe here of all the ingredients that you're going to need. Very easy. There's not much in the ingredient list at all. So here's the other part of the recipe that just kind of shows you how long that you're going to need to cook it in your crock pot for. Again, everybody's crock pot is going to cook differently, but this is just a guideline. I realize that split pea soup is not everybody's cup of tea. However, my kid and I love it, and my boyfriend's actually going out of town tonight for a business meeting, so he's not going to be home till tomorrow. I asked Megan this morning, what do you want for dinner? And she's like, Mom, can you make me some pea soup? And I was like, okay, so here we go. This is one of those great recipes because the peas, you know, you're cooking them from the dried pea stage. They actually do take a long time to cook and to soften. So this is one of them awesome recipes that you can just put in your crock pot first thing in the morning and just let it cook all day long. So you come home and your house smells absolutely amazing for starters. And also it is really yummy. It's healthy. It's just awesome. It's one of those kind of feel good kind of recipes. Anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I whip this up in like no time flat. And I'll show you at the end what it looks like. So I'm just going to quickly peel a couple of carrots. I thought I had more carrots, but I don't. This is another one of those recipes too that you just kind of just use up whatever you got in your, in your fridge. Yeah, so I just have a couple of older carrots here that I'm just going to throw in here. So there we go. And you just want to cut these up, kind of dice them up. And yeah, so easy peasy. The smaller the pieces, kind of the better. They cook a little bit easier that way. So I just like to kind of cut my carrots in probably like fours and then just dice them up nice and small. So once I get that part done, I'll come back and show you what that looks like. So there's my carrots all nicely chopped into small little bits here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put those right into my crock pot. So the next thing I want to do is I want to get my peas ready. So you want to rinse these off really well, your dried green peas. So we're going to need 2 cups of these, and I have just a little sieve here that I like to use for this. There we go. That's about 2 cups there. And I'm just going to rinse these under cool water and let them kind of drain a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and add those to my crock pot as well. So my peas are now rinsed, and I'm going to go ahead and just, it doesn't matter if there's still a little bit of liquid in there because that'll just add to your soup as well. Not a big deal. And so I've got my peas in there and my carrots so far. The next thing I'd like to add is 1 chopped onion. I'm going to share with you a little kitchen gadget that I got many years ago. This is actually from the Pampered Chef. I don't know if many of you are familiar with that company or not, but you go to these silly little parties, and of course when you go you always feel like you need, you're obligated to buy something. Well, this is something that I bought, and I've had this thing for years, and it's the best little gadget, I tell you. So what I've got here is I got my onion, and I've just kind of cut it into fours, into big pieces here, and then you're going to basically just stick your onion in there, and you're going to hit this really hard quite a few times, and you got nice chopped onions. It's quick, it's easy, and hardly any crying involved. So I'm going to go ahead and chop these up. So I've got my onion all nicely chopped up. I swear by this little gadget. I use it all the time. It saves so much time as well, and yeah, I just love it. So this is going to go into the crock pot here now too. And the next thing we're going to put in there is some diced up celery. So I've got, I don't know, about maybe 3 long stalks of celery here. I cut them in half and I cut the yucky ends off. So we're left with nice celery. And I'm just going to chop these up. Now the bigger ones I will split in half. Again, it's just kind of nice if you just have nice little chunks in your soup, not big honking pieces. There we go, and then I'll just chop this all up, and that will also go into the crock pot. So there's all my celery all chopped up. Into the crock pot that goes. All right, now the next thing, of course, you can't have split pea soup without ham. So normally what I do is I'll actually put 2 cans of just flaked ham. I happen to got this one, I think, at Dollarama. I think you can even pick it up at Dollar Tree. And so what I do is I just open it up and take a fork and I just kind of scrape in there and kind of break up all the little flakes, and I put the whole can, the juice and everything, right into the crock pot. I usually put 2 of these in, but today I actually have an actual ham. I bought this at, I believe, Walmart. They were selling these after Easter for $9 or $10. So what I did was I grabbed 2 of them and I put them in the freezer. So I'm not going to use this whole ham. It's huge. It's like 1.7 kg. It's pretty big. So I will probably use maybe half, and then we'll use the rest for sandwiches or whatever. So this is already a pre-cooked ham. It's boneless. Yeah, so that was a really good deal. So if you can pick these kinds of things up ahead of time for on sale, just tuck them away till you're ready to use them. That's a great thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut some of this ham up. So I'm just going to cut some nice thick slices here to begin with. And then I'll cut those into nice little bite-sized pieces. And this is going to give my pea soup, oh my gosh, it gives it such awesome flavor. But the canned flecks of ham works just fine. And I mean, it's that, you can't get any easier than that. And very reasonable as far as cost goes. I mean, you can feed your family here for next to nothing. A lot of this stuff is probably already stuff you already have in your fridge. And yeah, so you can just use whatever you have. So I've got my ham all in the crock pot here now as well. So the next thing we need to do is add some chicken stock. Now you can do this in a couple of different ways. You can use some just pre-bought chicken broth like this, bouillon. We'll need a couple of containers of this. Or you can make your own chicken broth by using like the little chicken, either the powder or the little cubes. You'd probably need 1 or 2 of these in about 5 or 6 cups of water dissolved, and then add that too. So either way works fine. I've done it both ways, and either way is just fine. Today I'm going to go ahead and just use out of the box here because that's the easiest. So I'm going to go ahead and just add 2 of these. So if you've made pea soup before, you'll know that the peas, as they cook, they get really soft and mushy, and this will become quite thick. So later, after when you kind of check to see how the cooking process is going, you may need to add a little bit more liquid. You can just add some water or some more chicken stock or whatever you'd like. So I'm just giving this a really good stir to get the peas and everything all stirred around. Sometimes when you wash them, they kind of get in a little clump like this, so you just want to kind of break up the little clumps. So there we go. Now, as far as spices go, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Again, this is just all to taste, and you'll notice that you don't need very much salt because, and I wouldn't probably even add this maybe even till actually when you actually taste it, because ham is quite salty all on its own already. So yeah, you probably won't need a whole lot of salt. I like to add some pepper. And then you're going to also need to add a little bit of parsley flakes. I don't measure anything, I just kind of dump and go. I have a recipe, but I kind of follow it loosely. And that is basically all there is to this recipe. Now I'm just going to turn this on. Now everybody's crock pot cooks differently. You know your own crock pot. I know mine actually cooks quite hot and quite fast, even on low. So I'm going to just put this on low, and I'm going to cook this all day. So it's probably going to be about 6 to 7 hours by the time we are ready to eat this. But like I say, if your crock pot doesn't cook real fast, you're going to want to put this on probably for a good 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours probably. And you could even put it on high because you might want to get it going, especially if your crock pot doesn't cook very fast. You might want to put it on high at first just to get it going. Anyway, like I say, everybody's crock pot is going to cook a little differently, but this is just how mine works. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, put the lid on, and let it simmer away all afternoon. And when I come back, I will show you what our yummy pea soup looks like when it's all cooked up. So here is the final result. It's been bubbling away, simmering away all afternoon, probably for about 7 hours, I think now. So let me just take this lid off here. Oh, that's steamy. All right. So you can see that it's thickened up, and as it cools, it'll get even thicker, I have noticed. Now, I probably could have put a few more peas in here and it would have been a little thicker, or I could have maybe reduced the amount of, yeah, I think that's what I usually do. I usually end up putting that whole bag of peas in here. That's why it's not as thick as it usually is, but that's okay. When it cools, it will be thick, and I always usually have to thin it out after the next day. So anyways, this is our yummy soup, and Megs and I are gonna enjoy this. So I hope you guys like this recipe. Give it a try, and until next time, I'll see you again.